Ladies and gentlemen, St. Paul, Minnesota is the latest to form a reparations commission to give those reparations to residents who are offspring of the enslaved. So on Wednesday, the city council unanimously voted to create the St. Paul Recovery Act Committee, Reparations Commission, a permanent advisory body with powers and duties laid out in the city code. When George Floyd was murdered in 2020, it became clear to all of us in any position where we had any ability to make change needed to make a real commitment to never go backwards. This is the city council member, Jane Prince, the ordinance lead sponsorer of this committee. So by our actions, we are committing St. Paul to never go back, but keep moving forward towards a vision of real racial justice. So, this is an 11-person commission, and it will advise the mayor, Melvin Carter, and the council on policy and budget decisions to specifically address the creation and sustainment of generational wealth for American descendants of chattel slavery and to boost economic mobility and the opportunity. In the American Descendants Chattel Slavery Committee, according to the ordinance, a push for reparations in St. Paul was born of the grassroots movement, which eventually led to a formal apology nearly 2 years ago for the city's role in institutional racism. Afterwards, the city appointed a group met regularly. So they have a group to discuss a permanent commission for reparations. That group, which reported its findings to the council last summer, said the commission's first task should be to consider direct cash payments to eligible residents. Well, that sounds good. All right, that sounds good. But I hope they don't make it where you got to jump through hoops to get the reparations, because they may push it through and then make everything complicated or have requirements where only a few people would be eligible. That's what they did in Evanston. So, ladies and gentlemen, they said, though attempts to create a federal commission to study reparations stalled in Congress, that's because Congress is really not interested. That's why it stalled. If they were interested, they would have kept that thing moving no matter what. But the fact that we haven't heard anything from HR 40, it's got to be well over a year, longer. That tells you they're not interested in doing nothing. It's very obvious. So, local and state movements have gained traction across the country. In 2021, Evanston, Illinois became the first city to pass a reparations measure. Yeah, but theirs was a housing voucher. And as far as I'm concerned, that was not reparations. And they gave $25,000 to direct descendants of Black residents, but it was money that went towards housing. So, in my opinion, that really wasn't reparations because everybody would not be eligible for it, and everybody's not looking to move. Okay. So, almost 2 dozen people showed up for the city hall, and it was snowing. That's why. And most were in favor of reparations. A few critics wrote to the council members saying the city was not responsible for many of the historic harms listed in the official apology, including the destruction of a historically black neighborhood, Rondo, during the construction of Interstate 94 in the 1950s and 60s. You most certainly are responsible for that. Yes, okay, they did the same thing in my state. Y'all are responsible for that. You keep acting like nothing can be built anywhere except for a black neighborhood. So Carter proposed a program dubbed as Inheritance Fund that would allow some former Rondo residents and their descendants to apply for up to $100,000 in forgivable loans for a down payment or a house rehabilitation program in St. Paul. The mayor said the proposal, designed separately from working of the reparations committee, will go up for council approval in early 2023. Well, that's got to be coming up soon. I wish they would do something about tax dollars, where we should not have to pay taxes. But I haven't heard many places, well, California kind of mentioned it, but you don't hear it from any other place so far. And I hope that is um, also that is included. In my opinion, something like that they can put into effect a lot quicker. So it is good that they're doing something. So the council has already set aside money in its 2023 budget to hire a full-time staff member to support reparations work using proposed funding for a vacant administrative position. So we'll see what happens, y'all. I mean, look, this is more than what we heard even a year ago. And HR 40 was never anything in the first place. So I don't care that that thing has died in Congress. Good riddance as far as I'm concerned. But y'all, please tell me what you think about St. Paul now getting in on the game and throwing their hat in the arena to do something for the descendants of the enslaved. And they're talking about direct cash payments. Yeah, it's music to my ears. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.